Ladies and gentlemen, just finished watching UFC Fight Night, headlined by Arnold Allen and COSTA. And I'm going to do a recap here of the fights. Not all of them. I'm just pretty disgusted with myself because I went 6-7 on picks. That's completely unacceptable. The good thing is that I swept the best bets. Got them all right. Every best bet was correct. But the actual fight picks, I was 6-7. And today, instead of highlighting every fight, what I'm going to do is kind of like constructive criticism, seeing what went wrong with my picks. That's how I get myself better. That's how we get better. So I'm doing this for us. Yeah, and I don't have the energy right now to go through every single fight and what went on because, it's Saturday night. I got a big Sunday plan, long Sunday, and I need to get some rest. And I was going back and forth between this and the Netflix card. Which, since we're on that subject, let's touch on that a little bit. That kind of saved my night. All the money that I lost on the UFC, I kind of made it up with the Netflix. Just 3 fights that I was completely sure of. And this Netflix thing, by the way, it's good for the casuals. It's good. It was good entertainment. You know what it was like? It was like WWE, but real. We all know WWE is fake, but this is like real. It's entertainment for casuals, but they're actually throwing real blows. I'm just gonna touch up on the main card. I mean, Alex Pereira was good to watch. Alex Pereira's little sister. She's gonna be great, but she's very very raw. Not much experience at all, but she did get the win, thankfully. Um, she'll be good. She's just way too raw, but with time, I think she will get better. Hopefully. Um, so yeah, let's start off with with the Dos Santos and actually Parnis and Cross. That he just this Parnis guy just this guy Cross didn't belong. He just didn't belong. I don't know who he's fought in the past, but clearly all the fights here were kind of one sided. Not kind of, they were one sided. It's like they got a guy that wanted to hype up, and their opponent just didn't belong in the same. And we knew that coming in. Well, I knew that. I mean, there was one fight where I didn't quite know what was going to happen, but I had a feeling, and I didn't bet on that one. But we'll touch on that later. So Parnis and Cross, that was just he just ran through him. He just ran through the guy with no disregard, no respect. It was horrible. It was horrible to watch. I don't know if Cross has any fans, but I'm sure they're not happy. And Ngannou versus Lins, we knew this was going to happen. It was just a matter of time. Nobody had this fight going into the second round. Uh, Felipe Lins shouldn't even be fighting anybody of Francis's caliber. I don't know why they set that up. Well, I do know why, but it's all a money grab. Jake Paul was there, and he was all over the place, and it was a freak show to me, disrespectful to mixed martial arts. But I get it, they're trying to compete, but is this the way to do it? I don't know. Uh, Mike Perry and Diaz, that was the only fight where I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I had a pretty good idea that Perry was going to box him up. Um, I didn't bet on that one because I knew that if it got to the ground and there was some kind of exchange, Diaz could submit him easily, and I didn't want that to hinder any bets or anything. So I left that fight out. But between the parties, I put a parlay: Parnis to finish Cross and Ngannou to finish Lins, and then oh, and then Ronda Rousey to win by submission in the first round. Thankfully she made it quick, and I didn't have to sweat it out. But Serrano's a very pretty accomplished actor model. She hasn't fought in 25 years. I know Rousey hasn't fought in a long time either, but you know she's been in WWE. She's been training. She's active. Serrano had no shot, and if whoever thinks that Serrano has a shot needs to complicate. Sorry, what the hell they're thinking? Because I mean she had no shot, and I knew this way before when this fight first came out. I was like, Serrano versus Rousey. I mean, I don't even know why that was the main event. I don't know. These people are, you know, they do what they do. Whatever. That's on them. And then I left out the Spain versus Dos Santos. I hope Dos Santos just retires now. I mean, he looked like a shell of himself out there yesterday. It was a spectacle. I mean, half of these people are on the downside of the career, and then the other half shouldn't be fighting, and they just put them in there for a check. Uh, you know, it was also the same with the prelims. It was very lopsided. Maybe a couple competitive fights, but I mean, it was entertaining. The whole thing was entertaining, but you know, it was just wasn't a good show. Not that's not what I like to see. I like to see competition. I like competitiveness, and this was not competitive at all. It was a show. Not that it was scripted, but it was a complete show, and it was just whack to watch, you know. But yeah, I mean, it was entertaining. I was flipping back and forth, between the UFC and this, and yeah, it is what it is. We'll see what the next MVP Netflix has in store. Hopefully, it's a little more competitive than this crap. But yeah, on to the UFC and my self roast. So the first fight I got wrong was Sean O'Bannon versus Nicola Cagliari. Um, yeah, I didn't know Cagliari had moved a weight division. That was bad journalism on my part, not figuring, not checking on that. So I mean, it almost hurt her that weight cut because after the first round, she wasn't herself. She was gassed out in the second round. Sean O'Bannon won the second round. She won the second round. She completely lost the first. She got taken down. I thought if you look at my last video, I thought that she would have cleared that up by now and know how to defend the takedowns better. But in her defense, Nicole Cagliari was the bigger woman. She had gone down a weight class, so she used to be a flyweight. Now she's in a strawweight, so she is bigger. But still, you gotta defend the takedown. You can't get taken down that easy and then just accept guard. Um, but yeah, so it was 1-1 going into the third, and yeah, Nicole Cagliari pulled it off. Pulled it off. If I would have known she was moving down a division, I would have thought more. I wouldn't have just picked Bannon like that. But either way, yeah, Shauna Bannon's very disappointing. Very disappointed in her. The way she just accepted guard, didn't try to get out, didn't try much. She's just content being on her back. My kind of girl. But yeah, not for the U.S. This is not a good look on her. She better work on her takedown game if she's gonna stay in the UFC moving forward, because the clear path to victory on her is noted. All right, next fight I got wrong was Caitlin Vieira versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. This fight was pretty good. I mean, not much. I'm not really hanging much on this one. Caitlin Vieira was the veteran. I picked Cavalcanti just because of her streak. I knew that it would go to the distance. Yeah, I didn't see any one of them getting a finish. I just thought with the run that she was on, that Cavalcanti would win the decision. But yeah, Caitlin Vieira proved she's a veteran. I did state that she had a ton more experience than Cavalcanti. So she's experienced. She knows what to do. She knows when to turn it on. And Cavalcanti turned it on. It was just a little too late. You can't. You're down 2 rounds. You can't go into the third round, waiting for your opponent to make a mistake, or you got to throw air into the caution and then, just throw it out there. See if you get a see. Be aggressive. Make a mistake or two, but just be very aggressive and try to get her out of there because you're down 2 rounds. And she didn't apply pressure like that until like the last minute and a half, and it was too late by then. Caitlin Vieira knows what to do. She's a veteran, so hopefully this is a lesson for Jacqueline. She has a bright future. This is not a bad loss. Vieira was ranked number 5, so that would have been a great win, but it's not a bad loss. So yeah, but it was a very close fight. It's a very close fight, but she did lose. Next fight I got wrong was can't believe I picked Turcos versus Ivan Ersland, but to be honest with you, this was ass. Both this was probably the worst fight, one of the worst fights I've ever seen. It was boring, and I thought it was gonna be boring. I even said it. I'm not expecting much from this fight. It's exactly where I thought it would go. Just I thought it would be a very boring fight, and that Turcos would get a takedown late to win it. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. The first round was exciting when both guys were just they both looked like they both hurt each other. It was a wild exchange there towards the end of the first, which Turcos got the best of it. He really hurt Ersland. He was more hurt, but he gassed out, just throwing bombs out there. Yeah, he should have finished him. Should have finished him there because, his body language after the first, it just didn't give me a good feeling. I didn't feel too well after that. I knew that there was no chance that this guy would come back. He looked cooked. Then I find out that he was training with Hamzat, who was also cooked after the first couple rounds of his last fight. So maybe it's that training guy. Maybe it's true what they say about the trainer that they had. The guy just overworks his athletes, and that's not good. People need to look into that moving forward. And then Ersland, after the fight, asking Hunter or Mick to renew his contract because he has his third child on the way. And if you think Hunter or Mick really care that he has a third child on the way and they're going to give him a brand new contract, he better think twice. He better think twice because the UFC is a business and they don't care about him or his family. What has he done? He's lost 2, and then he just won yesterday barely. It was a crappy fight. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I don't think they're gonna re-sign him. And Turcos, I don't know if his contract is up or what. They should just cut him because this guy's pathetic. That was one of the worst performances that I've seen. Yeah, none of these guys belong in the UFC. I wish them both a great career somewhere else, but this is the best of the best, and just for their health and our eyes, it's just better that they're out of the UFC. Put it that way. All right. Next fight I got wrong. Timmy Kawamba versus Bernardo Sapage. Little Ilya proved me wrong. Bernardo Sapage put on a show and submitted Timmy Kawamba in the second round with a nasty submission. Kudos to him. I really thought Timmy would win. Yeah, man, disappointed in him. I don't know what I know what happened here, but is it coaching or is it just I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking. With all the reach that he had, why would he get in the pocket and exchange? I mean, it was clear here. The game plan should have been stick and move, keep him at range. He did everything that he shouldn't have done. And when you're people that make those type of decisions, they don't sniff any title shots. Let's just say it that way. I'm disappointed in Timmy. I'm disappointed. This was a fight that he could win. They finally gave him a fight with a full training camp. Um, I just don't understand it. I don't understand what happened. What his training thought was coming into this fight. I don't know if his corner or his coaches made the wrong game plan, but it was clear. A guy like Bernardo Sopaj, who's the guy's dangerous, but he's been out for a while. You have the advantage. You have the height and reach advantage. Just go at him aggressively. Keep him at range, and he. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, Timmy. I'm disappointed in Timmy. Didn't see that coming, but hey, Bernardo Sopaj, great win for him. He's back. Let's see what's next for Bernardo. Let's see if they give him somebody ranked and he moves up and let's see what he can do. All right, the next fight. Malcolm the Parlay Killer Wellmaker versus Juan Diaz. Juan Diaz showed that he belongs here. All that training he put in the Performance Institute in Mexico, working out with former champ, the Assassin Baby. And, man, the kid's good, man. The kid's good. He's good all over the place. And he shows that if he gets your back, you're pretty much done, bro. The guy's good. The guy's a real threat. Only one loss. He's legit. The guy's legit. He's here. And he has a bright future, man. He looked great yesterday. I didn't think he would surpass this test, but he passed with flying colors, man. Juan Diaz from Peru. Man, I'm proud of him. I'm proud of that guy. Proud of him. Needed him to lose. Not gonna lie, kill one of my big parlays, but it's all good. Malcolm Wellmaker. This guy's a fraud. I'm sorry to say. After his last fight against Ewing, they went the distance. He's a great. Turned out way better than we all thought. I think he's still undefeated, as a matter of fact. So this guy Ewing was no slouch. So I'm like, okay, he lost to Ewing in a decision. That's fine. But now they give him this guy, and he just went out there and got submitted in the second round. And this guy's a fraud. He's a fraud. He was knocking out the lower tier guys, and he got built up to something that he's not. And he's not who we thought he was. Completely disappointed. I'm in disgust by this. Not disgust because he put up a fight. He at least got to the second round, but he was a big time favorite. He should have took this guy out in the first round. At least not get submitted. He got your back. Fight the hands. Do something. Just don't. He tapped. Man, it was just. He showed that his ground game is exposed for sure. So he needs to go back and work on his ground game if he's gonna stay in the UFC, or he better go back to getting a regular 9 to 5 because he quit that job with from a couple wins ago. But he needs to come back and make an impressive. But he probably will because they're gonna give him a bottom feeder again. But we'll see when he faces top competition what he can do. Man, he has hands. I don't know. I don't understand why he don't just. It was a clear decision here by Juan Diaz to just get this guy on the ground, and now Malcolm is exposed, and that's 2 losses in a row, and he has some deep searching to do. All right, everything was pretty good up until these last few fights. Co-main event, Doo Ho Choi, Daniel Santos, fight of the night. It was very entertaining, but yeah, Daniel Santos, I don't understand. Well, yeah, he just went for the kill. I respect that. I respect that he went out there and he brought it to it. Do Hoo Choi. Uh, but yeah, he went out there for the kill. And, when he doesn't have the best gas tank, and when you go out there throwing bombs, throwing roundhouses, he must have thrown like 3 roundhouses in the first round. And I mean full power. This was like roundhouses to take your head off, spinning back. He tried everything. He was throwing bombs. And, a couple of them connected, but if you don't take him out of there, and then the second round, he came out there again, throwing bombs, explosive punches, big time kicks. You gotta pace yourself. If you don't have the best gas tank, you gotta pace yourself. But this guy, and both of these guys were, and Do Hoo Choi, these Asians are smart, man. These Asians are smart, and plus he had a Hall of Famer in his corner. So he probably told him, "Hey, look, pace yourself. This guy's throwing wild. Just don't get caught with anything, and he's gonna get tired." And he did. He did. He got tired. He got tired in the second round, and it was done. He hit him to the body, and Daniel Santos just shut down. He was already tired. He was already tired when a little bit before that, but I think that body shot kind of ended it, put a stamp on it. Yeah, I was excited to watch. It was nice to watch, but I was like, no, what are you doing? Because he just came out just throwing spinning back fists and spinning kicks and roundhouses, and he was like a top, just spinning around and just fucking throwing everything that he could. And it's nice when you land, but then when when you're missing, you're exerting energy, not hitting your opponent. And Do Hoo Choi was just nothing too wild, just compact. Oh, you're tired? Okay, jab, jab. Peppering up the body. He did great. He did great. I don't think that was his game plan, but it worked. I think his game plan was just to go off of what Santos gave him. Don't get caught with anything. Kind of just wait till he attacks, and then he's gonna retrieve, and then you go. And his hits were like small, compact, but he hit him. He wasn't missing too much. He wasn't exerting a lot of energy, and yeah. Towards the latter part of the second round, Santos was pretty much done, and Do Hoo Choi was pretty fresh. And yeah, he caught him with that body punch, and that's all she wrote. But they both got a bonus there, fight of the night. So that goes to show, if you go out there throwing bombs, and you could get fight of the night. So yeah, Santos needs to work on his mentality a little better. And then, of course, the main event, Arnold Allen versus Melquisel Costa. Oh, man, good for Arnold Allen. He finally won a main event. But yeah, Costa is disappointed in Costa. I don't know what he was doing out there. He totally wet the bed. When he got his last win against Ige, he was, saying about how he's ready for the big time, and he's here, and yeah, wishing a bunch of things, and this and that. And now here you got your shot here. You got your shot. I mean, it is the crappy Apex, but nonetheless, you're the headliner. You're the main event. All eyes on you, and you don't win a single round. Not a single round. Not even close to winning a single round, as a matter of fact. It was all Allen. Yeah. Allen he did what he did. He did what he did. He's, I don't even think he got hit too much. He just looked pretty fresh after the fight. Yeah, man, that's 2 good wins for Allen this year. One more, and he could be in line for a title early next year if he gets a one more impressive victory this year. That would be big for Mr. Allen. And Melky's Costa, man. Got to go back to the drawing board here because, sir, we're not who you thought we were. Uh, most people did it. That's why he was the underdog. But I thought that he would pull it off. I really did. I mean, he got he got beat everywhere. He couldn't strike with him. Uh, on the ground, Allen pretty much took him down, and it was just bad. It was a bad look. If it was a casual and they did not know, they wouldn't think that Misael Costa is as accomplished as he is. He just, I don't know if he wasn't himself last night. I just don't know. It was just bad. It was bad. Um, yeah, he needs to go back and work on a lot of things because he showed that he's not ready for the top 10. That's what I saw. Not ready whatsoever to not even come close to winning a round. Um, I thought coming from that camp, being there with all those great fighters that's part of Shooter Box, that he'd be a little more ready. At least make it a competitive fight, man. Uh, yeah. I just didn't see this being so lopsided as it was. Um, yeah, so I'm pretty disgusted at the way this turned out for the most part. Um, yeah, I think tonight was just a lopsided night overall between both promotions. I don't know if they set this up the same or not, but there wasn't much competition here. The UFC was a little more legit though. At least both sides were trying. It's just it worked out that it just didn't work out that way. But yeah, the other promotion was not scripted, but the way they set it up, you know, let's get a guy that we want to hype up, and let's get guys that are on the way out and match them up against each other, and that's kind of like how this UFC looked, but it wasn't how they planned it. But on paper, I expected a lot closer of a main event here for the UFC, but it is what it is, man. Click like and subscribe. We're off this week. I got some NFL stuff coming up though, and yeah, we'll see you in a couple weeks for the next UFC. But stay tuned for the NFL stuff dropping later on. Click like and subscribe, guys. Enjoy your weekend.